Hey guys, welcome back to the Pop Culture Corner. I'm your host and creator, TY. Boy, oh boy, Army of the Dead dropped today on Netflix, and I'm here to give you my thoughts, my review, in a 10-minute spoiler-free section. So, for anyone that doesn't or hasn't seen the movie yet, you can stay for the first 10 minutes. But before we get into that and the review, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and you enjoy content like this, and consider becoming a patron. For only $5 a month, you get access to tons of exclusives, including early access, discounted merchandise, behind-the-scenes content, and pretty much anything else I can think of. But anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so yeah, Army of the Dead came out today, and it zombie crawled onto Netflix. Boy, oh boy, was I excited for this film. It was a Zack Snyder film, written and directed, and he is one of my favorite directors of all time. The mythic Snyder Cut delivered on every single promise that it made, and continues to blow me away. I mean, this is truly the year of the Quarry, if you ask me. So the movie begins with a pretty heavy opening scene. And we kind of find out where the zombies come from. We do. And that was no surprise, as Zach had told us this before. It was Area 51. Yep. Nothing crazy there. However, how it comes out and how it comes to play was truly, truly spectacular. So, for the non-spoiler review, I have my grading, how I graded the film. So, I usually use this kind of grading for action or superhero films. So, the categories that I have are character development, story, action, cinematic quality, plain old fun, score or music, and the antagonist. Whichever role that plays, if that applies, most of the time it does. And you can get a 5 out in each of these categories. So, Army of the Dead, I decided to use this grading category other than like my other. I have different sets for each style or genre, but I used this one because of the essence of the film, and I think it really did. It did work. So out of 5. My list was as follows. The highest score you can get in this grading is a 35, which would equivalent to a 5 out of 5. Each category is ranked 1 through 5, and it as follows. Character development. I gave Army of the Dead a 3. For story, I gave Army of the Dead 4. Action, I gave Army of the Dead a 4. Cinematic quality, I gave Army of the Dead a 3. Plain old fun, I gave Army of the Dead a 4. For score, I did give Army of the Dead a 3. And for the antagonist, I gave Army of the Dead a 3. To explain my score a little bit more in depth, I thought the character development, start to finish, was really, really well done. However, it did speed through a few things that I thought could be expanded upon a little bit better. So that's why I did give it a 3. For story, I thought the story was amazing. As far as zombie movies go, you don't expect to get too much of besides what's on the surface. And I thought this movie did a really good job of delivering a great story coupled with heavy action in depth. So that is why I gave the story a 4. And there are some twists and turns in this story. It was unlike any other zombie film that I've personally have seen. And I really did enjoy it start to finish. For cinematic quality, I gave Army of the Dead a 3 because some of the CG definitely needed some work. We do know that Tig, her character, the helicopter pilot, she replaced Chris D'Elia, and she shot her scenes on a green screen after the fact and was inserted into the film. So some of the scenes with her look a little bit choppy, but that it is what it is. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and for the most part, everything looked great. The CG just needed a touch better work, but it was far better than what I could do. So I'm very happy with it. Action. I mean, come on. I've rarely ever given a 5 out for any category. I didn't give it a 5 for this one either, but it did get a 4. The action, when the action starts and when a sequence happens, Zack is known for how good and how epic his sequences are, and the style that they're filmed in Army of the Dead was no different. Army of the Dead, they really honed in on the camera angles. I like the over-the-shoulder stuff. The explosions, they weren't like Michael Bay explosions. They actually included fire, not just sparks. The quality of the action was superb. Score. This is one I almost gave it a 2 for the score, but my girl Allison Crowe was in the beginning, and I love Allison. We're friends. She did amazing in the Viva Las Vegas cover that is in the intro. I really love that. The score was pretty decent throughout the film. However, besides the intro Viva Las Vegas cover, nothing really stood out to me. So I thought that could have been a little bit better. I did end up giving it a 3, which is a good score. But I definitely thought that, coming from a Zack Snyder film, the score could have been a little bit more epic. Plain Ole Fun, right? This movie was fun. It was a little gory. It had some, cuss words. I don't recommend it for children. However, I thought this movie, start to finish, balls to the wall, so much fun. And that's why I gave it a 4. The characters in the film were fun. The story was fun. The setting was fun. The locations were amazingly fun. I mean, it's in Vegas. We got zombies. Dave Bautista's in it. Guns, explosions, a few twists and turns. This movie was just plain old fun. And the antagonist. Here is where I was a little torn. I almost gave the antagonist a 5. However, when I started to actually think about it, I have a lot of notes I took a lot of notes during the film. And the antagonist, which is the zombies, right? So, but there's a specific zombie that you'll wait. If you haven't seen the movie already, I don't want to say anything, but there's more than meets the eyes to these zombies, and they call them what do they call them in the movie? Shamblers. There are regular shamblers and there are alpha shamblers, and the alpha shamblers are unlike anything you've ever seen before. There was a little twist that happens with the queen zombie, and my God, did it have me scratching my head. There was never really a payoff for it at the end. But I'm thinking that somewhere along, and maybe in the sequel or in the prequel or something, we'll get hints to what that was and what it means going forward. So I'm super excited. I gave the antagonist a 3. I thought the zombies, they had emotion. They played into their emotion. They weren't just mindless beasts that served the purpose of the story. They had motivation. They were, as the coyote says, the coyote's the woman with the blonde hair, these are not what you think. So total, this movie received a 24 out of 35. So that drops down, and that's an average of a 4 out of 5, guys. This movie was amazing. I loved it from start to finish. It's everything you could want in a zombie movie and more. And I really enjoyed what Zack did with the genre, because it's not your typical zombie film. It's got elements of Romero. It's got elements of Dawn of the Dead, his own Dawn of the Dead, with certain things. But it's its own category altogether. This movie was so good. It was so good. I highly recommend it. Get on Netflix, watch this movie. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you thought of let me know what you thought of zombies. No, let me know what you thought of Army of the Dead, guys. I'd be really, really, really intrigued to know what you guys thought, and if you liked it as much as I did. All right, guys. So that is the non-spoiler review. A couple more things. I thought Dave Bautista did a really good job at helming as a main character. I thought he motivated me. He kept me fascinated. He kept me wanting to know more and more and more. His daughter aggravated me with some scenes, but that's okay. The safecracker, awesome. The guy that's like laughing when he's shooting the gun, Guzman, was great. All the characters, especially Tig, who I thought was really, really challenging to do for Tig's character, she did an amazing job. Someone told me that she's a little bit monotone. I could see that. I could see where you're coming. But just imagine acting with nobody and your scenes are being filmed after the fact. That's got to be hard. So, yeah. So this movie got a 24 out of 35, a 4 out of 5 on my scale. I was loving it.